how do I close one-to-one coaching clients without any objections? Now, in the sales world, you see online, on social media, you see endless amounts of objection handling, rebuttals. This is what I say. This is how I say it. This is how I flip their mind. I reframe them, all this type of stuff. And all that's great. And I've been in the sales industry for 9 years, and objection handling is a very, very powerful skill to have, because at the end of the day, there will be a lot of people that want to move forward with something, but they're just fearful or they're scared. So you can use objection handling in like an extremely powerful way to really help make someone a bit of an uncomfortable decision that they may not have made, and that can then lead them on to change their life. As long as you're actually selling something that will genuinely make an impact and will genuinely change someone's life. And I think that's the biggest problem with the objection handling world in the online space, is like, who are you with that skill, that powerful skill of being able to like understand psychology, understand objection handling. Technically, you could push people into doing things that actually isn't actually that valuable. So you want to make sure with your own offer, or if you're selling an offer, that you're making sure that you're providing extreme levels of value and the service is amazing, and who you're representing genuinely actually cares and wants to make an impact in this world. I think that's really, really important. But here's the thing. You don't actually need to objection handle if you've done everything in the process right before the call. Because here's the thing, usually you've got to do a lot of objection handling when the lead or the prospect or whoever you're speaking to is extremely cold. Whereas when you're speaking to someone who has been nurtured, they trust you, or they trust, whoever you're representing if you're in sales. Trust is the biggest thing. When someone actually trusts you, let's say, for instance, you're looking to invest, a few £1,000, £5,000, £10,000 plus into someone. Like, the biggest factor to get someone to move forward is going to be trust, right? Because if you're putting that money into someone, trust needs to be there. And here's the thing, you can build that trust through the right content. So with my coaching clients that I onboard, that I move forward with, who I do business with, I make sure that whoever I speak to has gained a lot of value for free when it comes to running masterclasses, doing live trainings, creating content like this, that they're able to consume and understand who I am as a person before I even have a call with someone who's extremely cold. So the way to get objectionless calls is by building trust. So my question to you with your offer, or if you're selling for someone, how can you build more trust? And the best way to build more trust is through long form content. Because here's the thing, short form content is extremely valuable for generating attention, generating traffic. And obviously you can utilize that on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn. However, short form content, it takes roughly like 7 to 9 hours of someone to consume your content for them to become a fan and build high levels of trust, for them to move forward with high ticket offers that you may have. So if you think about it, a 30-second reel, you're going to need to watch thousands of 30-second reels to be able to build the trust, rather than, a live training that you run, which is an hour or 90 minutes, or you're running YouTube videos for like 30 minutes as an example. For instance, for me, a big trust builder that I've utilized in my years of doing coaching and closing clients, I've really leveraged my podcast called Freedom Lifestyle, because my podcast episodes were like 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So, let's say a 60-minute podcast, all it would take would be roughly like 7-hour podcasts for someone to listen to build high levels of trust. So if I was to then have a call with them and present them my offer, because the trust levels are there, now it's so much easier to move forward and close a client because you've already gained that trust. So my message from this is to create more valuable content that you can use that's long form, whether that be in YouTube. So for instance, for me now, I'm personally committing myself to uploading a minimum of one long form piece of content every single week. I'm then going to be using that long form piece of content to turn into short form content, because short form is going to get the attention. I'm then going to be able to then drive that attention, that traffic into my long form, which is then going to build the trust, build the value. And my intention is that even if let's say we don't end up working together, my intention for these videos is to make an impact, to help you progress, to help you create more freedom in your life. So yeah, that's my message, is create more long form content, do live trainings, get onto people's podcasts. And when you do this, you're not going to need to be able to handle objections anymore, because you're already selling through your content by giving value, by actually caring, by building trust. So that's part one of how to become objectionless when it comes to sales. But part two is, and this is the key that I think a lot of people that are in sales, or they are a coach or a business, and they don't understand the psychology of selling. And this is where not everyone, but most people go wrong when it comes to selling, is they focus on selling. That's what they're focused on. They're focused on pitching their heart out, on selling someone. Whereas a better way of doing it, for me personally, is to get someone to sell themselves. How would you do that? You do that by being a coach. Hence the reason why I become a coach. I got qualified at the highest standard as a coach, ICF accredited coach. I'm currently training in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, because I want to become a master at NLP. And this is the most powerful thing of being a coach rather than a salesman. A salesman is someone that can obviously sell and handle objections and do amazing pitches, which I can do all of that because I started in sales at 19, so 9 years ago now. But a coach is someone that empowers someone, is someone that asks the right questions, that asks the powerful questions to get your prospect to think. You can do this through content, or you can do this on a call with someone. So you can ask them the powerful questions. Why should we work together? What excites you about working with myself? Like, what is your biggest challenge, your biggest struggle right now? How long has this been going on for? If money didn't exist, would you be doing what you're doing? If money didn't exist, like, is this something you would move forward with? Just by asking the right questions, you can become objectionless, because they sell themselves. They sell themselves that they want to make a change. They sell themselves that they want to work with you as a mentor, or they want to, let's say you're a sales rep and you want to close for whoever you're working for. They start selling themselves. And there's something a lot more powerful about getting someone to sell themselves, getting someone to make the decision for themselves, rather than you persuading them, by you pushing them to make that decision. Because this is when you'll end up getting a lot of cancellations. Yes, you might get a lot of sales, but you might get a lot of people cancelling, and it's because they've had buyer's remorse. So they've moved forward with something that they didn't actually really want to move forward with, but they got pushed into it because whoever was selling was very good at selling, was very good at persuasion, was understood psychology of how people make decisions. But then when they reflected on it, they actually realized, oh, actually, I just got pushed into doing this. And they end up getting a refund, or they end up being, not the right type of client that you want to work with. And this is another thing, like, I don't want to persuade anyone to work with me. I want to make sure that whoever I'm working with really wants to work with me, because otherwise the energy is just going to be off, because I'm not coaching just to make money. I'm coaching to make an impact. And I'm also coaching because I love it and I want to be working with the right people. So for me personally, like, I don't need to force or convince anyone to work with me, because if I meet someone, like if I meet you and I'm like, actually, I think you'd be better with someone, because I've got a network of 6, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs in all different sectors, health, business, sales, mindset. So even though, I'm a business coach, I help you build a business out of alignment, utilizing your personal brand. Like, I've got a network of other people that can do that. And I actually might be like, actually, I think you'd be a better fit with X, Y, Z. And then I can just connect you to the right people. And this was the whole movement behind Freedom Lifestyle. Freedom Lifestyle, I know that my mission is to free the world in all areas: internally free, external freedom, and life freedom. So freedom with money, freedom of wealth, freedom of time, location, health, relationships, having fun, finding your purpose. And I know that I can't do this alone. So I'm looking at Freedom Lifestyle as I'm building a team of Avengers, of the right people who I genuinely trust. And I'm going to have inside of Freedom Lifestyle for free. So you can join the Freedom Lifestyle movement. We're located on School, and you can join us completely for free, because my mission is to make an impact. And I know that not everyone's able to invest into mentors and coaches and buying this and buying that. So I wanted to make a platform available for you watching this, whether you're a millionaire watching this and yes, you've got a load of money, but you're not happy, or you're someone that's in a 9-to-5 and you're looking for that opportunity, you're looking for that vehicle to escape that 9-to-5. Well, Freedom Lifestyle is for you. I want to get connected with you personally. So I'm excited to see you in there. There's going to be live masterminds from experts to help you create freedom in all areas of life. I've actually got a mini program inside there as well, so you can make sure you can find out, like, what's the area you're struggling with the most? Where are you most trapped? Is it health? Is it finance? Is it relationship? And then we can guide you with the right path. So that's my movement. And if you resonate with that movement, then I'm excited to see you inside the Freedom Lifestyle community. So I'll see you in there. Hasta luego.